Hey yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Goons Out 16. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about LeBron James's legacy. LeBron James's legacy. Let's get into it, man. Well, before I get into it, first of all, um, during my time making videos on YouTube, I I've propped up LeBron to be the best player in the league, but would throw slight little jabs in there when he would mess up. Obviously, I tell the truth. All I do is tell what I see. And some people think that I'm a hater. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. I I'll tell you guys right now the honest truth. LeBron James is one of my favorite players in NBA history. Might be top 5, maybe top 10 or something like that. But let's get into his legacy, man. First of all, he was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan. He won't. But anyway, he was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan at the age of about 16 or 17. Came into the league with extreme pressure. Um, to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time, and he is. Even he's 28 years old and he's one of the greatest of all time already. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing right there. So first year in the league, he plays 79 out of the 82 games, averages 21 points, I'm rounding up, 6 assists and 6 rebounds on 42% from the field. Not make the playoffs that year. Um, I think Cleveland had like Ricky Davis and Darius Miles on that team. They didn't make the playoffs that year. Second year goes way up. 27 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. Shoots 47% from the field. That's big to go from 42% to 47% in one, span of 1 year. So next season, third season in the league, 21 years old, 31 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds, shooting 48% from the field. And they did make the playoffs that year. So, yeah, they made the playoffs that year. Eventually bounced out in the second round. He averaged 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in the playoffs in his first year at 21 years old, sir. So, I mean, already, they're talking about him as one of the greatest players in the NBA. The greatest players in the NBA at that time, this is around '06, was Kobe, Shaq, D Wade, LeBron, Allen Iverson, McGrady, Dirk, um, Amari slightly, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, all these guys, and he was at the top of the echelon as one of the greatest players in the game at the time. So then, next season averages 27, 7, and 6. That's pretty good, man. Great season. Next season averaged 30, 7, and 8, but gets bounced off. He's getting bounced off in the playoffs. He's getting to like the second round, getting bounced out. Uh, hold up. Was it '07, '08? No, it was '06, '07, right? '06, '07, where he actually made it to the finals. And the series before that, he goes against the Detroit Pistons. And let me tell you guys, for those who weren't around, who weren't watching basketball that much, in '06, '07, from about '03 to '07, '08ish, the Detroit Pistons were one of the toughest, best teams in the league every year. They had Chauncey Billups, Richard Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. They were a great team, man. So they were underrated too in NBA history, but LeBron goes against these guys, and it's just him. Boobie Gibson, Daniel Gibson is helping out. They call him Boobie. Ilgauskas is doing all right. Barajau's always been hustling, but They're way outmatched by the Detroit Pistons. And LeBron James, what, I believe it was game 5, goes for 48 points in Detroit, in the Motor City, Palace of Auburn Hills, one of the craziest crowds, toughest places to play. Drops 48 points and scores the last 25 points for his team. It went into double overtime, I believe. I believe it went into double overtime. This dude's hitting clutch shots, hitting fadeaway shots. And mind you guys, in the season before this, 05-06, his best buddy, D Wade, just had one of the greatest NBA finals ever. So I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm like, yo, LeBron James is trying to, win a championship just like Wade did in this is the next season. So I'm like, okay. So then he goes against the Spurs. Now, against the Spurs, they were outmatched just like Detroit, and they did beat the Detroit Pistons. Then in the NBA Finals, '07 NBA Finals, Cleveland was way outmatched by the Spurs. I don't care what anybody says. LeBron James, he failed to show up. He failed. He now, of course, his team was outmatched, but he individually was not great. He was okay at best. If you look at Michael Jordan, right, when he was getting bounced out of the playoffs, just like LeBron was, Michael Jordan would average about 32 to 47 points in those series when he was getting bounced out, when he was losing. So yeah, LeBron James was not great. All right, the next season, he's great in the regular season again. 30 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Next season, gets bounced out of the playoffs. Next season, 08-09. The Cleveland Cavaliers got Mo Williams at that time. Mo Williams was a pretty good player. He was a good shooter, and he was a good complement to LeBron James. I think they got Wally Zerbiak. He was pretty good, a good 3-point shooter. They got Ilgauskas and Varejao. But the Cleveland Cavaliers were favored to win the championship. They were favored to win. People were like, these guys have the most talent in the league. The Cleveland Cavaliers. So people are like, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers are gonna win the championship. LeBron James in this season, 28 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds, and wins the MVP of the regular season. So in the playoffs, let's go to the playoffs real quick. In the playoffs, LeBron James averages 35 points, 7 assists, and 9 rebounds. Crazy. They eventually got bounced out by the Orlando Magic. Now, and LeBron was great throughout that whole series, except for Game 7. No, was it Game 7 or 6? I believe it was Game 7 or 6, and he did have 25 points, but he disappeared in that fourth quarter. And that's when people started to be like, maybe this guy LeBron James isn't, great in the clutch time. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the eyebrows were raised. Nobody ever said it because he was hitting big shots in the regular season, and then when it came playoff time, in the big moments, he wasn't showing up that well, Next season, wins MVP again, 2-time MVP at the time, drops 30 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, shoots 50% from the field, right? Playoff time comes once again. I think they swept the Atlanta Hawks pretty bad, and forgot who they played after that. But yeah, and then they played the Boston Celtics. Was it the Eastern Conference Finals or I forget, but They played the Boston Celtics and they got bounced out by the Boston Celtics. Now LeBron James in a couple of the early games was failing, but in the last game we seen it. We seen LeBron James give up on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give up on the team. Just give up on them. This guy was unengaged. He would get the ball and just nonchalant pass it, get turnovers. He had 10 turnovers that game. I remember that game so well, or maybe 9 turnovers. I remember the game very well. This dude just quit on his team. I was like, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, this is getting crazy. Then the decision happened. You know, he's on national TV with Jim Gray, I believe that clown's name is. He's scared of Mike Tyson for another day. Yeah, he's up there. So in this next season, I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach. South Beach. Me being a Heat fan, I was going crazy. I'm like, yo, him and Wade gonna average 30 points each. They're gonna be throwing alley oops from half court and all that. And Wade was hurt in the beginning of the season, and they didn't look great. They started off, I think, 9-8. People are saying trade Coach Spoelstra. LeBron James was so hated by everybody. You remember people burning his jerseys. They were so mad, especially Cleveland fans. But fans all over the world were like, yo, he should have stayed. Michael Jordan was saying, I would have never went to play with Larry Bird and Barkley or something like that. LeBron was very hated. The Heat were hated. They were the Heatles at that time. LeBron averaged 27 points, seven rebounds, 8 assists. Probably should have got the MVP from Derrick Rose. Who knows? But yeah. Okay. Now play the Sixers. I like the Sixers. We got the Iverson jersey back there. Smoked us. LeBron and Wade just causing havoc. Played the Boston Celtics the next series. LeBron and Wade just causing havoc. Played the next series, Chicago Bulls. LeBron's causing havoc. Wade was okay until the last game. He was balling. The Dallas Mavericks in 2011. Now, I remember my friend at school. I was at school. I was like, yo, I can't believe it, man. The Heat's going to win the championship. He's like, yo, I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win. I'm like, yo, what are you crazy? This guy's a Heat fan. I'm like, yo, you're crazy, man. Get out of here. And sure enough, when the biggest moment happened, number 3 back there, not Iverson. Iverson was great in the finals, but I'm talking about number 3 in the 2011 finals was amazing. Averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 54% from the field. LeBron James was absolutely terrible in those finals. Terrible. This man was so unengaged. Mario Chalmers had a better finals than he did. Chris Bosh had a better finals. Wade had a better finals than Dirk, in my opinion. But Chris Bosh had a better finals than he did. LeBron James averaged 17 points in those finals. And it wasn't just about the 17 points. He wasn't playing no defense. He let Jason Terry talk trash about him. Jason Terry talk trash about him, saying, you ain't nothing. You can't guard me. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was so mad. He really let Jason Terry trash talk him and didn't make up for it, didn't do anything about it. Jason Terry's got the ball, looking at LeBron right in his eyes, pulling up and shooting cash. That was one of the toughest series I've ever seen from just watching it as a fan standpoint. It was bad. So next year, people are killing LeBron for those finals. Next year, We start off great. We kill the Dallas Mavericks, kill them on their home court in December 25th, Christmas time. And LeBron James ends up having a terrific regular season, like always. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 53% shooting. But you got to get it done in the playoffs, right? All right. So who do we play against first? We played the Knicks first. Beat them at 5. LeBron was dominating. D-Wade was okay. Next series, who did we play? Indiana Pacers. They had us down 2-1. 2-1. LeBron James said that's enough. That's enough. Wade is struggling mightily. He gives Wade a couple of good passes to get Wade, some confidence. Don't you know that LeBron James, game 4, in a big moment, drops 40 points, 18 rebounds, and 9 assists. And I'm not look, that's what I'm looking at. Basketball Reference. I'm not looking at anything that give me like little things to say. I really remember this performance, and it was amazing. Dwayne Wade in that game had 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. So he had a great game himself, but LeBron James was just amazing that game. Next game, LeBron and Wade doing work. Next game, D Wade drops 41. LeBron gets 28 points. Next series, I'll just skip everything. Boston has us down 3-2. 3-2 in Boston. Everybody's like, yo, the Heat gotta break it up. Trades Wade, get rid of Spoelstra, get rid of Bosh, and just build on LeBron, because LeBron was doing a lot for the team. Don't you know LeBron comes in and drops 45 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists? And he was making threes, he was making shots from all over the place. It was just one of the greatest performances in the playoffs that I have ever seen, and I'm 19 years old. It was just amazing. And then in the finals, he had a great finals, won finals MVP, well deserved. Next season, can the Heat repeat? Yeah, so Heat's playing great. This is last season that just passed. Win 27 games in a row. LeBron gets this streak of what was it? 30 points, shooting over 60% from the field for 6 games. Nobody in NBA history has ever done that. And I want to talk about that for a little bit. Do you think that they actually told like guys like Karl Malone, like, yeah, you're on the streak, buddy. 30 points and you're shooting over 60%. Nobody has ever done that. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They weren't telling those guys that. So that's kind of misleading to me, but I mean, it's great that nobody else has done that. So that's amazing. Yeah, so LeBron James now he had a mindset switch from after 2011. His mindset changed. He was gonna tune everybody out, and he really did it, man. I was in next season, 27 games in a row. These playoffs that just passed, we played the Bucks. He was dominating those clowns. 4-zip. Who we play next? The Bulls dominating. Indiana Pacers. He had this one game where he choked, but he was still dominating in the whole series. The finals against the Spurs, he had some really bad games, and the first 3 games were terrible. He was pretty terrible, and so was Wade. But game 4 is what changed it all. You know what I'm saying? Game 4, LeBron with 33 and Wade with 32 was just amazing. They were 2 attackers. You know what I'm saying? It was great. Great to watch. Then LeBron really took it up to another level in Game 6. We looked like we were down and out, getting ready to lose the championship. LeBron said, I ain't going out like that. Game 6, this man was on attack in the 4th quarter. He wasn't good in the first 3 quarters. He was killing them in the 4th. Made a couple mistakes, but missed a big 3, got it right back, and had the confidence to shoot it again. Drains it. Amazing. And then the game 7, 37 points. Great performance in the NBA Finals for him. And there's your King James right there. That's his whole legacy. And now he's at 28. He's 28 years old, and he's still gonna be able to add to his legacy. Hopefully, he plays for 8, 9, 10 more years, maybe. That would be amazing. So shout out to LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron hater. I really, really, really like LeBron. I do not think that he would be better than Michael Jordan. Will he be close? Kind of close, but he's never gonna be Michael Jordan. Still, maybe has the potential to be a top 5 player ever. And I have him in my top 11, top 10, somewhere around there. I'm gonna come up with my top 25 best players one day in this summer. So tell me what y'all think, man. Tell me what y'all think. How I broke it down. Tell me who else would you guys like me to do a legacy for? This is LeBron James. This is the first legacy video I made. I'm definitely gonna do some for the homie D Wade, for Allen Iverson, maybe McGrady. But y'all tell me who y'all want, man. It's your boy Goons Out 16. I always do it for the viewers. You already know. That's about it, man. Comment, rate, subscribe to your boy. I'm out. Deuces,